How long does cremation take? Cremation, like any burial ceremony, takes time to plan, organize, and eventually the service itself. Many factors could perhaps influence the overall time it takes to arrange a cremation service. Factors such as the time of year. If a loved one passes away around Christmas time, family members might wait until the new year. And if the coroner is involved, this could prolong the discharge of a deceased loved one by 5 or 6 days. What influences how long a cremation takes? How long a cremation takes will depend greatly on these factors, and on average, a cremation will take place between 1 and 3 weeks after the death of a loved one. Of course, some people may find the process of dealing with the logistics of organizing a funeral to be overwhelming. It is overwhelming, it is emotional and daunting during a time of grief and sorrow. How long is the cremation service? When the time comes for the service itself, most crematoriums offer a 30-minute slot for honoring the deceased. Because it takes time for family and friends to arrive, settle down, and be seated, the slot can be used up very quickly. If more time is required, family members can book a double slot to give them time to say goodbye properly in a dignified manner. The extra slot will be an additional cost, but some things you can't put a price on. Once the service is complete and the final goodbyes have been properly said to the departed loved one, then the actual cremation process itself will begin. How long does cremation take? The cremation will take place immediately after the service is over, or if it is a busy day at the crematorium, later in the day. What happens during the cremation process? It's perfectly natural to be curious about the actual process. The cremation will take between an hour and 3 hours. Cooling, collecting, and preparing the ashes for the family takes another 1 or 2 hours. The ashes are then carefully placed in a temporary container for collecting by the family. What happens after the cremation process, and how long does it take to collect the ashes? Once the cremation process is complete, you will be able to pick up the ashes the following day. Don't feel pressured to pick up the remains right away. Take your time. Crematoriums usually hold unclaimed urns anywhere from 6 months to 5 years, so there will be time to say a final farewell whenever you feel ready. Where can you turn to for help and advice? Urns.com can advise and consult on all funeral and cremation needs, including advising on how long a cremation takes. They note that the burden of arranging a loved one's affairs and final farewell is a tough and harrowing experience. For over 15 years, they have provided families a safe and comforting service in times of pain, suffering, and loss.